On this week's Throwdown, we have Classy Cal demoing the workout.
We've got double unders, double dumbbell deadlifts, double dumbbell box step overs, and heavy squat cleans.
We release these workouts right here on YouTube every day at Thursday at 1 p.m.
I think I just said 1 p.m. I skipped some of it.
Join our entire community to practice the skill of competing.
Use the next 2 days to plan a strategy, grab some friends, and throw down on Saturday.
See where you stack up each week on our Throwdown leaderboard. It's free to sign up. Go to trainingthinktank.com/throwdown.
This week's Throwdown is a 2-part workout. On a running clock from 0 to 10 minutes, you're gonna do a 10-minute AMRAP of 200 double unders, 50 double dumbbell deadlifts, and 30 double dumbbell box step overs. You're gonna rest from 10 to 12 minutes, and then at the 12-minute mark, you have a squat clean ladder. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, increasing loads for time.
2 movement standards of note. The first one, the dumbbell deadlifts must be outside. Dumbbell deadlifts must be outside of your feet. You cannot put them inside. One head has to touch the ground on both hands. And for the box step overs, you must hold those in a farmer's carry position. You cannot put them on your shoulders.
Also, for those of you that don't know, Brandon puts warm-ups in all of these workout descriptions underneath. We've been informed that people don't know about that.
Yeah. I spend like 20 minutes every single Thursday writing those for Chris, and people aren't looking at them.
Calorina is our demo athlete this week. She is strong, strong, strong. You know her. She's trying to get to the games as an individual, and she's probably a sanctional or whatever it's called team-level athlete. You have something else to talk about.
We have something special coming up. It's the Winter is Coming Classic.
That's a competition we're running. Head over to trainingthinktank.com/winteriscoming and you can get some more info about it.
Let's go see Cal's strategy.
Are you gonna ask me a question?
What's your strategy?
I'm gonna break it up a lot. So on the double unders, do you want me to give you the rep scheme and everything? My plan is to break it up a whole lot. It's gonna be a lot of grip, and I'm worried that after round 1, my double unders are gonna start to go, so I'm gonna break those up from the beginning. I'm gonna break up everything a good amount and try to just move fast.
And what's the station that plays all the hits?
You're gonna ask me that. I don't know.
All right, 3 seconds.
And we're off. It terrifies me, doing 200 double unders to start
Just
a workout.
in a row? Yeah, big double under sets in general are not my favorite thing that CrossFit prescribes.
Do you do a lot of double under work with Cal? I know that was a weakness for her in the past.
We did a fair bit when we first started, I think through quarantine, but she spent a lot more time recently doing gymnastics and burpees training. So I wouldn't say that it's now a major training focus every week. I think we just got it to the point that she's pretty confident doing big sets under fatigue.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is one of the movements that, she talked about breaking these up, which obviously she hasn't yet. So she's at least, 80 in now or something like that?
Yeah, we're like 42 seconds.
Yeah,
so.
When I think break it up, I'm like 50, rest 10 seconds, 50, whatever. But there's a huge advantage for someone like a Travis, for those that have seen him, who maybe can do 500 or 600 in a row, where they could go 200 unbroken, or he could go 200 unbroken right into the deadlifts, whereas most of us are going to have to break this up.
Yeah, I think it's sometimes like the skill discrepancy between somebody elite, so like Travis, and then Cal, who's just underneath that, and then somebody like me who's just trying to manage this as a major weakness. I might approach this as doing sets of like 40 or 20 with quick breaks, just to prevent myself from blowing up within the first 2 minutes of a workout. So that's something to consider for people. And really know yourself, have some self-awareness with this movement.
Yeah, and like she said too, sorry to cut you off, Mia, I'm gonna keep doing this the entire time just so you can't speak, actually. This is very grip intensive, especially if your double unders are poor, because most people start tightening up a ton and then spinning with their arms instead of like kind of relaxing their wrists, so that is also something to think about.
I was going to say, so with the double unders, you're going from a movement that is going to elevate most people's respirations pretty high, but remember that you're going into a movement that's very easy to breathe in. Like, it is grip fatigue, and she said she felt some shoulder fatigue on the deadlifts as well, but you can recover your breathing a lot in that movement, so I think it's okay to dig a little bit at the beginning.
Does that mean you're going to push the pace and go unbroken?
No, I'll probably trip. I might try, but
So 207 for the double unders, which is, I mean, I would say that's a pretty fast time. I mean, the best maybe are like 150-ish, something like that.
Yeah, I think as a general rule of thumb, 120 per minute is what a fast pace for a CrossFitter is. Maybe in the like 125, 130 range if they're purposefully trying to go fast, but in sustained Metcons, that's about the top threshold of speed you'll see.
I really like breaking these up because this is something that you can just like quickly stand up, shake your arms out, and then go right back to it. You're not wasting a ton of time. Like maybe if you're resetting on, you know, a power clean or squat clean, you have to step back and really take a break.
Yeah.
and you're going into step ups, which are very intensive on your grip.
For sure.
They're step overs.
Cal is generally very strong and very good at moving any sorts of weights, but deadlift specifically, she's just very slow and controlled and keeps her positions a little bit better than normal people that move fast on deadlifts. I can't tell from this angle with dumbbells, but this looks like she's going down and trying to work the eccentric a little bit quicker than normal.
Yeah, I really like how she's holding the dumbbells too. Something to think about. You only have to touch it with one head, so almost tilting them forward and then letting the other head rest on your, like kind of the meat of your palm will allow you to relax your grip a little bit more. And she's going fast again.
We just couldn't let the silence sit. I heard Mia take a breath and thought something might be coming out. Was it just a forced thought?
Yeah,
Like,
I was
I
just
can't
trying
be
to
here.
fill some space, but I didn't actually have anything to say.
Yeah, on a dumbbell deadlift, there's not really that much technical. It's kind of just like shorten the range as much as you can by tilting the head and just bend over and stand up.
So it was 133 was the split for the 50 deadlifts, which again, I think that's pretty close to world class. Maybe someone tries to go 2 sets or unbroken, but I don't think that's wise, like Mia said, going into the step overs.
Yeah, it's just not worth it with how short your rest can be or a break can be on the deadlifts.
Yeah, so I look at this workout and this first portion, and I really think the double unders is the biggest separator.
Yeah.
Is there any contention to that?
Well, I mean, the step overs could be for someone that's really bad at them. But, you know, I would say most elite males and females are going to be pretty tight, and then there's kind of like that in the middle of the bell curve that's going to be tight, and then maybe another large separation after that.
Yeah, that second set of double unders is a huge difference maker.
Yeah, if you could jump into that and do that in 1 or 2 sets, I feel like you're separating yourself from the pack pretty substantially. Whereas if you're going really fast on 50 deadlifts or really fast on 30 step overs, you're probably not going to save that much time because most people are probably doing those in similar set sizes.
I will say Cal's pretty good at step overs. I mean, like you said, she's really strong. Her unilateral strength is very impressive. And I honestly think that she's just really good with the odd objects. So I know the dumbbell now we've had for a couple of years, but any dumbbell workout I've seen her do, she just kind of handles it better than most people.
Yeah, I think she's being a little bit conservative here, and she said it in her warm-up or her strategy where she said she was going to break everything up a lot. And she said that a lot, but her grip blows up from this movement specifically. So I think she's just being a little bit conservative, thinking about that heading back into the double unders. It's definitely tough to do dubs when your grip is blown up.
Yeah. It's probably a smart thing to break this up, even if you feel okay. Just thinking about, like you said, can I go maybe 2 sets or 3 sets on the double unders as opposed to someone that like really breaks down after the first 50 of your second set?
Yeah. Yeah.
Her step over technique is good, but it's the opposite of mine. She takes that front foot forward, and now she's done.
I prefer the crossover step. I think that's probably the fastest way to do it.
Yeah, I've actually seen a lot of females do that inside step up. I haven't seen a lot of males do that inside foot step up.
That extra 4 inches does play a role in how you step up.
Yeah, especially because Cal is probably as tall and Mia is probably as tall as a lot of male CrossFitters. Yes. So for an extra 4 inches, that same technique doesn't always transfer for a 24-inch box.
I've always told Mia that it's not fair that she's doing 20-inch step overs.
Yeah.
So annoying.
Yeah. Yeah. It shouldn't be an automatic female scale for the box. Height. It should be based on height.
Yeah.
That could also be true for a wall ball target, but then you start to say, like, well, then I should get scales for burpees and gymnastics. I can use it.
We're running a mile, I get 800. Yeah. So you can see already that she has some fatigue. I think probably mostly upper body, like you said, her grip. The one thing that you'll notice too is that she'll start tightening up here a little bit, because I remember watching this in person where her shoulders roll farther forward and then she's spinning more at the elbow as opposed to her wrist.
She did say that she didn't get as much grip fatigue as she thought she would, and it was more shoulder fatigue throughout this workout.
Holding on to dumbbells for a really long period of time, I don't know if it's because they're pulling you down or what the why the reason is, but definitely does do that for me as well. Blows my shoulders up.
I try to just let them pull me down. Like, I don't fight it, and I just let my arms dangle and my chest fall over, and that helps me a lot. It is, however, eventually will make my lower back blow up. But one or the other, you gotta choose.
I've actually seen you and others do that. The challenge for me, and it may be the challenge for anybody that has longer arms that's shorter, so I'm 5'9", but my wingspan's probably another 3 or 4 inches longer than that, is the dumbbells actually hit the box when I go to step up. So I
That's
can't
unfortunate.
relax. Yeah, so it's almost like a shrug, and that, like Max said, does blow my shoulders up.
So these rest breaks are getting a little bit longer than I would say I would like. If this were like an open style workout, I think you'd be losing a decent amount of time here, and obviously a trip right there. It ends up being about a full minute slower than her first 200, whereas I think, trying to tighten those down where maybe you're getting one extra 10 or 15 second rest in your second set of 200 would probably be the best way to try to navigate this workout. Obviously easier said than done though.
Yeah. One of the ways that I've had success, which is very little with double unders, but the way that I've always looked at this is if you're going into a second round of a big set, I will basically go by feel and try to knock out one big set, but it's like minus 20 reps. So I never get to the point, and everyone's kind of been there, where they feel like they're almost like jumping as hard as they can to finish out a set. I don't ever want to feel that. So then I'll stop, take 3 to 5 seconds, and then just say I'm going 20s or 30s the rest of the way with short breaks, and that usually allows me to chip away at them a little bit faster.
Yeah, I think that's honestly the key, is figuring out how to keep the rest breaks manageable. And I know for myself that's hard because my rest breaks end up being 20 seconds or 30 seconds, but whatever that number is for you, keeping them on the tight end of it and just keeping moving as opposed to trying to do a big set, take a long break, and then if you try to go and do another big set and you miss and then take a break, you just end up accumulating so much rest time in a movement that, can be done unbroken by the best of the best in the sport.
So I did think here she could have pushed the speed a little bit more. I mean, I know she was hurting, but she's starting to pause at the top. And it is that sprint finish.
Why'd you put that in quotes?
Time of the workout. Well, the sprint effort finish.
So she had 1:15 left when she started, and her first set was 1:33 to do all 50. So the speed is about the same, but I agree with you, Mia, that you got to kind of look at the clock, be a little bit more self-aware, which I think she was. I mean, if you're hurting, it's easier said than done for us, right?
For sure.
They say it's not the critic who counts.
'Tis true. Who's the critic here? Is it just you?
I think I am.
I'm not a critic.
Yeah, you guys are just the peanut gallery.
Great job, Cal. You're amazing.
She really did do a very good job on this workout.
All right, 3, 2, 1, and done. Did you count that last
didn't.
one?
No,
Okay.
that was 41.
All right.
Yeah, ruthless.
All right, so
But I'm glad she did it. Like going for that last rep at the end.
that she took the attempt to do it.
Yeah, 'cause
Instead of stopping like 3 seconds short?
Yeah.
I see people do that on the assault bike all the time. It drives me nuts.
all right, so we got a 2-minute rest break. She went through one full round, 200 double unders, and then 40 deadlifts. And now, time to
Now
shine.
she gets to smash.
Yeah, now she gets to do
Her favorite part.
Yeah.
She heard about the
So-
workout. She's like, yes,
Yeah, so
please.
Mike McGoldrick definitely, he might not admit this, but anytime there's lifting after a Metcon, he definitely sandbags and saves energy.
Yeah.
How is
Do you
Mike
think-
getting called out? He didn't do this workout. He's not here. He's not in the room.
He's over
He's in
there.
the other office.
Mike, do you think that Cal did the same
No.
thing? She didn't save anything?
I don't think so.
She
I think
also doesn't have to save
Yeah,
anything.
she knows she's going to beat most female athletes smashed in this workout.
So because you were defending Mike, are you disagreeing with the fact that Mike sandbags workouts to crush weights afterwards?
18.2.
He did that for his team.
But he did it. Nonetheless.
Whatever. I'm just jealous and butthurt that he's so much stronger than I am. That's really what this all comes down to.
So remember here, only the athlete and the judge can change weight. So there's a little bit of strategy. I told her before we started, let me know when you want me to start changing both sides, like when she wants to rest more. Versus, you'll see at the beginning, she changes one side to go a little faster into the next weight.
All right. And the rep scheme here is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Increasing weight each time.
Starts at 155.
One of the things she did before she started, everyone probably noticed that she sat down. That's probably a good option for most people to try to calm themselves down before they do this. And ready, go.
Let's see it. Will she touch and go?
I was
No.
surprised she didn't. I
Yeah.
thought she was
I
going
actually
to.
thought she would, too.
I'm glad she didn't. I think that was smart, but Cal likes to flex. on
Do
these.
you think that people who win this second portion will touch and go?
You have to be a really
Speaking
good
for the
cycler.
females, I don't think
The
so.
weight just gets too heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think probably that would be the case as well, especially if you actually
It's
push
just
that
not
first portion of the
worth
workout.
it.
So it's 15-pound jumps for the ladies in the first few bars. Obviously, a really good job of having the weight set up so they knew the first thing they're going to grab is on top. I know it's silly, but it's always something you should think about in a qualifier. The other thing I wanted to point out, and she'll probably do it in this bar too, is that she's basically, well, she's standing up a little bit, but she was shoving the bar back into the ground. So even though it wasn't touch and go, she was getting the bar back on the ground, setting up right away for that first bar, which definitely helps with overall speed.
Yeah, I'm not sure that our strategy advice during this is going to help anyone.
No,
because
well, yeah, she's
you can
world
cycle
class.
the bar.
Right. I would say
just
for,
do that.
for most people, have your judge change both sides
Yeah,
so
and give
that you
yourself-
can rest. Yeah.
She's basically just trying to push the pace as much
Yeah.
as possible.
Well, for those that want to be competitive with her time, there's no way you
Yes.
could do that. So
Yes.
definitely you have to have it set up in a way that you can be aggressive.
Yeah, and you can't have two judges change your weight. So you get your one judge to change your weight, and then if you want to be responsible for the other side, you can.
So 185 now, down to 3 reps.
So this rest break, I mean, it's hard to criticize this because she's moving pretty quickly at pretty heavy weights. But, I mean, if she's comparing it to somebody like Tia, maybe that little rest break would have been a little bit too long because you're
think
still moving the bar so fast.
That's where she could have just had me change it and take that rest. You know what I mean?
Instead of moving
Yeah.
and changing the weight
Yeah.
herself, yeah, that makes sense.
Still really fast once she grabbed the barbell for all 3 of those.
Yeah. And now she asked you to change the weight? Nope.
Yeah, she said, "Can you just do it?" But then
She did
she's
it?
still helping. But I think she stops. Yeah.
So, Max, you've probably tested some ladders or you've seen some of her scores. What would the difference be? And you can kind of guesstimate on this, but if she just did the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 by itself, no workout beforehand, how much faster would she go on something like this so everyone else has a gauge?
Yeah, I mean, I think she'd go a pretty good deal faster. I think actually the workout would almost be silly in this rep scheme at this loading
Right.
for her if it was not done fatigue, because she'd probably touch and go and spend almost all the time just
Changing
trying
the
to
weights.
change the weight. So I think if this workout were to be tested fresh and get maximum speed, she'd need 5 barbells,
Right.
like an actual speed ladder you'd see at the
old school regionals, yeah.
And if that were the case, I do think that you might be seeing touch and go. It may be just at the 155 or maybe the 155 and the 170. I think there would definitely be some touch and go reps in there if it was only 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, so her total time for this part was 3:08. You'd say probably, it'd be definitely under 2 minutes, 140, something like that.
And just so everyone knows, earlier this day, Cal cleaned 255.
More than me. Congratulations, Cal. That was awesome.
And we also should point out that Cal did 10 extra pounds than the workout was prescribed because Mia doesn't math well. Project
Sorry, Cal.
Calculator, bro. Take it away.
It's a wrap, you know what I'm saying? Your boy Project Pata in this thing, man. Hey, look, man, thank y'all for watching Training Think Tank's YouTube channel. Y'all hit that motherfucking subscribe button, you know what I'm saying? So y'all go ahead, man. Thank y'all for watching the channel, you know what I'm saying? Hit that motherfucking subscribe button. Let it be known, what it be known, what it be known, you know what I'm saying? Pata.